On Main Forge of Memory here in Central Illinois, and I had an idea. I was like, you know what? We've got our forging festival this weekend. We've got Robbie Bowman's coming up, October. God, what is it? 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 17th, 18th, and 19th in Sevierville, Tennessee, and with the forging festival and all. We've got competitive forging. I've got to get my chops up here. So I want to be challenging Cheyenne and maybe one or two other people to a Wakizashi challenge. Now, this isn't to finish it out. This is to forge, heat treat, and grind. Forge, grind, and heat treat the blade. And what we'll be using is a relatively forgiving steel, not the highest carbon. This is 1045 high carbon. You can water quench it, you can oil quench it. He will show a Hamon. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with, but I'm going to start forging it out. Wakizashi Challenge. If you have not subscribed yet, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification button. So I've got that, I got about half that forged out so far, and what I'm going to do, we're starting about 2 inches wide, give or take, and I'm going to start drawing that out. Now, I've got enough material here to make a katana if I want, or a tachi, but I'm going for a Wakizashi, so blade length on this, I'm going to shoot for 16 to 20 inches. Now the idea is that we're not going to turn this into a fully functional sword, it's just going to be a fully functional blade. And probably some cutting with it. Well, very cool, Thomas. Your dad does cool stuff, that's awesome. There's a snow cone stand at the end of the block, it's pretty awesome too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that piece of steel and I'm going to draw it out, bring it down to, let's say, 1 to 1 1/4 inches or so in width, and then start forging it out, because I kind of want my Wakizashi to have maybe a little wider blade. Then again, I might make a narrow blade. We'll find out. And if you want to find out, be sure to like and subscribe. Thomas Ford, cheers to you too, man. So I took my angle grinder and I went down and I cut this material, which is right there is a little over 2 inches. This end is slightly under 2 inches. And I believe we're running about 1/4 inch thick. Yeah, we're right at 1/4 inch thick on that. This is actually, Thomas, this is 1045. So it's not the highest carbon, but it will work for what we're doing. A lot of original Japanese swords had a carbon content for the edge of 0.4 to 0.6. So you're looking between a railroad spike and about a corn knife or a machete or something. These pieces are about 15.5 inches long. Now I'm going to want between 16 inches and 20 inches for my blade. 20 would be quite long for a Wakizashi. Okay, so I'm going to get my caliper ready. This is 1 inch wide, which would be rather narrow. I mean, even when I forge it at wider, it's going to be pretty narrow. 1.5 inches, I think that's going to be pretty good. I'll widen that out. I'm making a broad blade Wakizashi. Cheyenne, do you have any idea what kind you're going to do? Are you going to do this? I already told them you were.
I'm going to. I have an idea, but I'm going to keep a hold of my idea right now so I can.
Okay, so there we go.
We're going to draw it out first.
Very cool, Thomas. I use 1045 on occasion. I usually use much higher carbon steels, but I got this on a deal and I was like, you know what? I'm cleaning up the shop. Let's make something. So when I finish this out, I'm looking for something probably between 22 and 28 inches overall length. So 22 inches to 28. 20. So a 20-inch blade. Wow, 28 would be kind of cheesy katana. But that's what I want to shoot for. Alright, well we're just about up to temperature again, but not quite, so I'm going to have some more of my slushy. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. Just doing the blade, not doing the full build.
Oh, that's on paper.
Tom Parker, how's it go? What's the overall length on that? About 27.
About 28.
Okay, Cheyenne's 28 on. Yeah, everyone subscribed, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, Thomas. So Cheyenne has her favorite Wakizashi, her personal piece, that she's getting some measurements off of. Now my anvil is probably, I think my anvil is like 25 and a half, 26 inches long. I'm going to use this kind of gauge how long I'm going to make my piece. Quarter deal. 25 and a quarter.
Okay.
22 for that.
Right to left.
All right. Now, when I say 16 to 20 inches for the blade, that's what I'm shooting for on this particular build. Keeping in mind that you don't have to heat treat the tang and that there's going to, you know, should be a habaki on there as well. So. Now, this is thickening up quite well. But the first part of my process is to get that bar stock to the right size. Now, I think what I'm going to do, I am going to drop down to about 1 inch wide because of how thick that is. We started with a 1/4 inch. We're condensing all that material together, so it's going to get thick pretty quick. How's everyone going? Maria, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Sandpaper. So if I do a refractory backing on this to produce a hamon, I'm likely only going to run this up to anywhere from a 36 to an 80 grit when I apply that, and then from there we'll have to see once I finish. Checking width, and we are just, we're right in that range, so I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and start drawing it all out.
Again, this is kind of a build competition, but we still have
all right, so overall length on this, like I said, 22 to 28 inches is what I'm looking for. Mine, I think I would do a little longer tang on it. I'm going to find out when I get to that point. In my blade length, 16 to 20 inches. That's what I'm shooting for. It's going to vary from person to person. But I'm definitely going to make, on this one, I think I'm going to go for the wider blade. Cheyenne's going to go get herself a snow cone, and just shortly here I'm going to go ahead and pull my blade out, or it's not a blade yet, I'm going to pull my steel out, I guess. And start working that down. go on record saying 1045 is not my ideal steel sword for a sword, but for this build, for this challenge, it's going to work just fine. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscription button, like and subscribe, hit the notification. Be sure to check out some of the other videos we got. All right, guys, ready to go. Once more, working with enough steel, we could do it to kind of blade, but that's not what I'm going for. So here we go. 15 and 15 and a half, 15 and a quarter inch long piece of 2 inch wide by 1/4 inch thick 1045 high carbon. That's the stock we're using. Now, I got some options on this. Differentially hardened, full quench, oil quench, water or brine. I don't know yet. We've got a few videos to go on this, but I want to try to get this material drawn out and get a blade rough shape. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to try to get that last section drawn out some. But I'm thinking 20-inch blade. That'll work. I think that'll work. Now, I've seen a lot of blades that are made out of 1045. I've had some. I've never been impressed by it. But I do believe that we can make a functional blade out of this steel. I've seen other guys do it. Like I said, I'm not sure yet if I'm doing oil quench, if I'm doing, if I'm going to do a water quench. Likely I may do refractory backed. Now this is a shallow hardening steel anyway, so one, I don't want it too thick, otherwise I'm not going to end up with my full hardness. And I do want some control on that hamon if I do that. Likely it's going to happen. Okay, next step, the process, even everything out thickness wise. And then probably going to start shaping that tip. Why start shaping the tip first? Well, just because. Once more, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. Panama, very cool. Rodolfo, how's it going? All right, I'm going to rotate her over here again. Well, I think it's about time that, I think at this point I'm going to start doing some hand forging, but I really want to be able to hold on to that tang rather than tang in, because I haven't forged the tang yet. And it makes me wonder, just still a little more. Okay. The dog's head hammer for this. I'm going to start forging that tip in, start drawing tapers, and then start forging out the bevels. While that's happening, I'm going to eat my snow cone. use the dog's head a little bit. All right, now I'm going to start working this. Sammy, how's it going? I want to rotate over here. So I'm going to start drawing some thickness out of that tip, start putting some taper in. Hoping I can hold this with a gloved hand shortly. We're going to find out. All right, now going back in. We're at 24 3/4 right now. So 20, I know this is going to draw out some. I'm going to mark it in here at about 19 right now. Part about this is now I have to flip it around. I could hold it with a glove, now I can't. Going into the forge, I'm going to taper that tang, and then I'm also going to define it from the blade. Not a good snow cone. One, I want to bring that up to a high heat. My thickest point I really want to be the blade itself. I want to draw that tang out and I want to elongate it, taper it down. And then, while working from that end, I'm going to start widening the blade, start laying my bevels in. A lot of power hammer work here. Still going to be quite a bit of hand forging as well. Hope you have your earplugs at David. I don't wear earplugs, man. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I've had hearing loss since I was a little kid. Don't wear earplugs doing this. Shooting guns, I do. This, not so much. Anthony Castor, you're asking about what steel we're using. For this challenge, we're using something we generally don't use in the shop, and that's 1045. So 1045, it'll take a hamon. It is hardenable. We can do a water or brine quench. We can do an oil quench. There's a lot of different variables, a lot of different factors we can put into this. So that's what we're going for. Oh, you show them if you want. Cheyenne has her favorite Wakizashi right here. And so we decided to do a Wakizashi challenge. Okay, we're starting to get a sword shape here. It doesn't take that long. We're not folding anything, we're not creating pattern, but I may do the hamon. Alright. So very shortly, start drawing out that tang, thinning out that tang, and then it's going to be laying bevels in. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. All right. So this is going to be a fair size short sword. It's going to be over 24 inches. So the goal was overall length 22 to 28 inches, and the blade length from 16 to 20 inches. Right now, I'm at right about 19 inches for the blade length. And it's working pretty good. Please keep in mind that it is very likely that that tang is going to get shortened. But in the meantime, I'm drawing it out. I will definitely be shortening this tank, guaranteed. Okay, so going to be coming in here. It's starting to broaden that blade out, starting to lay some bevels in. Give it just a minute. And I'm likely going to work just sections of the blade, 4 to 6 inches maximum at a time. But I will probably go ahead and forge that tang out while I've got heat on that end. The tang is overlong as it is. .45, fairly low alloy, shallow hardening. Doesn't have any, doesn't have a lot of resistance to it as far as forging it just as it is. So, okay with this. So, I'm going to get that tang thinned out, and then I'm going to go most likely to a two-tone method and start forging out my bevels with the power hammer because it's going to be faster. And then I'll do some fine tuning with hand forging. If you haven't subscribed yet, great time to do so. Like and subscribe and hit that notification button. Got a lot of other build videos, reviews, and fun stuff. Foraging, mushroom hunting, all kinds of neat stuff. switch up the tongs, guys. So, what do I need here? I got some. All right. I want to bring that up to a high temp, and then I'm going to start widening that blade out. Medial ridge, we're going to look for probably 3/16 to 1/4 inch thick, and tapering down to, well, we'll see what we get. Give it just another minute or so. Now when you're forging a blade like this, you're going to have to correct curvature. Are you putting curvature in while you're forging, or are you going to do it with the quench? There are a lot of factors there. Let's see. Bastian Judd says, my favorite sword is a Gladius Roman sword. One day I'd love to have one made. Worked with a couple of those at times, yes. And yes, blacksmith power. So yes, I could be doing more hand forging, but hey, if I'm trying to make an hour and a half video, it's going to go a lot faster and a lot easier using the power hammer. You get to see more done that way. And if you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe and check out some of the other videos we've got. Got to let the cold portion of the blade gain some heat, so while that's heating up, I'll talk a little bit about the links in the description. In the description, you're going to find a few links. One is to the Turtle Island Preserve. It may sound familiar. Eustace Conway from Mountain Men on History Channel, that's what we're talking about. Be sure to check them out, because we may be teaching down there September 6th and 7th. Sign up for classes on the site. There's a link for Forge Your Memory Family. Robbie Bowman at Iron Mountain Metalcraft, link in the description. Forged in Fire fan favorite, seasons 3 and 4, episodes 5. Started Forge Your Memory at Pigeon Forge many, many years ago, and we're glad and happy and honored, privileged to be part of the Forge Your Memory family. Check them out, people. So after I get this widened out, then I get to go in and start fine-tuning everything. And there was a time I'd be like, man, it must take forever to make a sword. It really doesn't. If you've got good material to start with, it doesn't take that long to make. At least to forge one. Now, a lot of it depends upon your material, your tooling, your experience. I have a hard time believing, when I was younger, they used to talk about it took 2 years to make a single samurai sword. How would you ever arm an army if it took that long? Don't quite believe it. Well, I'm getting down to the last parts of this particular piece, and I would imagine that if you look up 1045, you probably don't have to normalize it. I'm still going to normalize this material because I'm sure that when I quench it, it's going to give me lots of fun problems. Going back to the power hammer.
It's supposed to be a forging competition, so I thought I'd have to, one up me on something.
A Maximus sword, there you go. Alright, well, I'm getting close to the end of the blade itself. Let's find out how hot that tang is. Still pretty warm. All right. All right, going back.
Don't play Skittles.
Well, that's why we shouldn't have stuff there. All right, coming back to the anvil to do some handwork.
I'm sure you make a joke because it does look like a tub full of Skittles.
Oh, it's all good. on this, so this may be a bit of a challenge. One thing that I'm going to be doing quite a bit on this particular piece is stock removal, just to get everything even. I think I went to t-shirts too early this year. Not looking like much of a Wakizashi yet. Actually, it's looking a lot larger than a Wakizashi. No. I'm almost tempted to try to keep an even curve in the entire thing, including the tang. Getting pretty close to that final profile. I do want it wider at the hill, at the Sioux, at the Habaki region than I do at the tip. So I may have to grind some of that in. I'm going to see how this goes. Amazing you can make a sword blade in a forge that small, but I like my Atlas forge, I really do. Janice, how's it going? microphone. You got enough? Probably ought to charge it. I think I'm going to end up shortening this blade up a little bit. Right around that 20-inch mark, so I'm okay with that. Cheyenne, not counting Hibaki on yours, you have a 20-inch blade, correct? Janice, things are going well. Thank you very much. get it to low heat. Low temp. Got some warpage I'm dealing with, so I'm going to use a special technique to correct that warpage. Now I need to correct the offset on that tang, trim it, and there you go. Somebody's going to say, hey, you're doing low temp straightening or straightening too cool. With this steel, it's fine. My tang is pushed more towards the spine of the blade. That's not where I want it at all. So I'm going to have to bring it up to a high temp and push it more closer to center. Reminds me of something I probably tried to make when I was like 13. I'd have been all kinds of proud of it. Today I'd be like, get rid of it. Thank you, Cheyenne. So I'm actually going to come up in here, shorten the tang, or shorten the blade, which is going to elongate the tang. There's still a prominent twist in the blade. Now I'm going to heat the blade and I'm going to allow it to cool and try to relax. So this is part 1 of the video. If you guys would like to like and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. Hit that notification button and see what we can do. And now, I'll let it cool. You guys have a great one. Hoping to do some more videos on this soon. Be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you in a few.